From Senegal to Sugar Hill, trace the bloodline. 100 years of brilliance through the color line. They thought the shackles broke but kept the mental chain. Langston penned the future while they legislated pain. Harlem's ballrooms birthed the cosmos in mahogany, while lynching trees still decorated southern botany. Josephine, Waker's pearls, and Garvey's Navy ships. Du Bois debating destiny with scholarship on his lips. The Renaissance was a renaissance, it was resistance, fam. Every trumpet blast from Armstrong was a battering ram. They gave us minstrel shows, we gave them Sora Neal. Turned depression into art, made the fabricated real. Cotton Club excluded us from tables that we set. To form the Deanest Nightly, never free from the debt. But Bessie Smith could shatter glass, shatter cash, shatter lies. Every note she sang contained a revolution in disguise. Build temples from the rubble, make cathedrals from the struggle. Turn the margins to the center, now they study what we scribble. We build temples from the rubble, every generation double the inheritance of genius that they tried to keep us from. Fast forward through the decades, watch the pattern reassemble. Malcolm's speeches, Martin's marches, every voice begins to tremble to the earth until the structure shows its fractures. FBI was tracking every coon with every pastor, every actor. 40 acres never came but 40 minutes on a stage. To reconvene your consciousness and channelize the rage. From bebop to hip-hop, the fool lines mathematical. Each generation weaponized the beautiful, the radical. They gave us Reagan out as crack and mass incarceration. We gave them Public Enemy and blueprints for liberation. The Harlem Renaissance never ended, just evolved its form. Every freestyle cipher is a brainstorm, is a storm. Where the children of the talented, the tenth that the was prophesied, inherit the fire that the water couldn't wash aside. They tried to write us out the narrative. We offered all on text, 100 years of proof, and that we're destined. Where was next? Temples from the rubble, made cathedrals from the struggle. Turned the largest to the center, now they study what we scribble. We built temples from the rubble, every generation double the inheritance of genius that they tried to keep us from.
All right, this is and you are Under the Groove. Welcome everybody. This is Touching Base with the People, Under the Groove podcast, man. Here I am and there you are. You know, another day on the compound. So let's get it in. All right, this is Tuesday, traditions and trials. You know, something we go through every day, man, in some form or fashion. We act out traditions and we go through trials and tribulations, man. That's true. Trying to make sure this thing look right.
It really is. Those moments are tough.
The fuck? Damn. All right. Yeah. Shit. That's what's up. Good to see everybody. Peace and prosperity, each and every one of you. Hey, I'm glad to be here. I hope it's the same for you guys. I hope it's the same. Hold on. I want to make this a little bigger. All right. There we go. Yeah. Happy Tuesday to everybody. All right. We've made it this far, man. That's a good look. You know, recognize that, you know, acknowledge that. Here we are. It is RGC's time, man. We touching bases with the Get Out, man, the Royal Group Congregation, man, where we represent B1, Black First. I was in the thing today, getting a lot done. Ran across a couple of things, man. Oh, I have to say, I ran across something today, man, with the boy Charleston White, man, and it was wrong. It was wrong. You know, what he was talking about was it was foul. It was foul. You know, it was foul. Not the fact that he was talking about, but you know how it go. It's how he talked about it, you know, that made it like, come on, dude, left a bad taste in my mouth. Like, man, you know, man. I mean, you know, he had the moments, man, where he dropped jewels and gems, man, and then he'll turn around. I don't know if it's for clickbait or whatever the case may be, but he'll turn around and say the most ignorant shit. And I'm like, dude, I can't defend that, dude. You know, I just can't defend that. But that led me to something else, man. I subscribed to this one brother, I'm the Amazing Lucas, and he dropped some shit similar. How he did it, though, you know, it's digestible. It's delivered in such a way where, yeah, you know, you can go on, you know, and accept what he's saying because there's truth in it. As opposed to Charleston White, the shit I heard him talking about today. And he was on No Jumper of all places, right? Sitting down with Adam 12. I don't get it, man. Why these brothers do that, man? Why they go and sit with Vlad and Adam 12 or any other ones, man, and just talk that talk they talking. I don't understand why they do that, man. I ain't in agreement with that shit. I would not do it. You know, I'm not as popular, and that's not a problem, for me as Charleston White. But even if I were, I would not do that shit. The shit he did today. And you guys, it was sent to me, so I checked it out, and the first 5 minutes, I was like disgusted. I was disgusted, man. And then he had that other fool, that other J Cat, Unk, 607, I think, and he just sitting there, man, like an idiot. He has nothing to impart or to input on the conversation, nothing to correct all the erroneous shit Charleston White was saying, man. It was just some foul shit, man. But anyway, that was disappointing, man. But that led me to I Am the Amazing Lucas, and like I said, I subscribe to that brother. I let him chop it up with me. You know what I mean? And so I decided to bring some of what I brought his whole piece down just for us to listen to and see if we agree with what he's saying, because there was some truth. There was a whole lot of truth. In fact, the thing was 100 in terms of what he said. And focus on this, what he said about us as black men. As black people, period, men and women. There's a lot of truth to it. So I said, okay, you know what? I want to share this with the Get Down with the RGC. And I'm going to drop that, man. Let you guys get a bar of what he's saying. And you tell me in the comments, is this something we can, does it make sense? Is it real? Is it real? So right quick, I'm going to hit out some of these get downs, man. And I want to jump right into it, actually. And I also got some by brother go by the name The Smart Guy, black dude, man. Very intelligent. Very intelligent. And this is what we're not getting on social media, man. I think this is what's missing on social media. The smart guy and his input or his take on us as a people, our situation, and why it is. Tight dude, man. Very intelligent. Very intelligent. If I had any critiques, I would say, man, stop wearing all this jewelry and stuff. You know what I mean? Because, I don't know. I don't know if it mesh. You want to give a positive, take on something. You want to talk about how the system is ruining us and how we're a part of something that, is no good to us. And yet you display, all the fixings, you know what I mean? So there that is. In any regard, the smart guys, he's still rap tight, tight brother, man. You get to the part where he understands, man, his presentation means just as much as well. He'd be, man, even tighter. But anyway, all right. Good to see you up in here, B60. Greetings and salutations as he goes. This is how it is, man. To you, Bub, and the RGC B1 Black First. Thank you, bro. Queen and Zinga Sevenfold said peace and blessing, kings and queens in the Royal Group congregation. Happy Tuesday, my peeps. B1. All right, Alonzo, I see you up in here, man. He say peace to the RGC and you, Bub, and yours right back to you as well, B60 and you, Queen and Zinga. Peace and prosperity, all of you, all right? And you're going to say, man, he's a rat, and I'm pretty sure you're talking about Charleston White. Yeah, I don't get that last part, though. Oh, the rats are popular. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They get all the hits and the clicks. They yeah, man. Shit. They go viral quick. B6 said Afro Think Tank was on Charleston's bumper also. He ain't the only one. What's this brother's name? Oh, my God. He from the Midwest somewhere, man. Let me think about this, brother. Yeah, but think tank, African think tank be on him too. Hold on, I might have that in here as well. That brother that was on Charleston White neck. Oh my God, I subscribed to him. I just can't remember his name right now. All right. Anyway, yeah, man. Yeah, African think tank be on this shit too, man. You gotta appreciate. You gotta love it. Lonzo say, man, they have all these sour Negroes being super loud. Yeah. All right, Lisa Moore. How's the queen? Good seeing this day, sister. She said, Grand Rising, big brother. Blessings to you and the family. Peace and love to the kings and queens in the RGCB One Black First. No doubt, no doubt. Let's jump into this, right? It's about, I don't know, I think it's about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, something like that. I'm not sure. But let's jump into this. I can't see the timestamp on it. Okay, it's 13 minutes. Let's get this though right quick, all right?
It's like clockwork. Oh my goodness. So when it comes to the lineage of evil, one thing you have to understand is that after they've done what the scripture says, kill, steal, and destroy, is that they will also do one of two things. And that being either A, they claim victim, right? Or B, they reframe whatever they've done, whatever sin or degeneracy.
All right, quick, for some context. He's talking about this cracker that's running around in the YouTube or the social media sphere using the N-word to brothers and sisters, and nothing's being done to him, you know. But as a result of him doing this over the last month or so, I don't know what state he's in, but after doing this after a month or so, the feds got on his neck and are pretty much now, you know, telling him, he was arrested and shit for hate crimes, you know, shit of that nature. And I was surprised. I never knew they had a hate crime bill for, being anti-black. I didn't know that, you know, but as a result of him doing this, you know, these antics, disrespect. His family won't talk to him anymore. He's lost all his subscribers, you know, people, you know, he's fallen off. He's been arrested a couple of times, all kind of shit. But he's doing this to brothers and sisters, and man, they're not doing nothing, you know. And I don't condone. I don't say you know violence is the way, but I tell you what, knock on wood, man, shit, that couldn't be me. Hold on, let's jump back into this. That's context. This is who he's talking about.
That they've plagued the world with, they frame it as a positive. Those are two things they will do ad nauseum, that they have done throughout history and even presently. Whether it's, a police unjustified shooting, either A, it was a justified shooting, right? They would frame it as a positive, or B, they claim victim. Well, this is what I was taught at the academy, and I was scared for my life, and I feared for my life, and yada, yada, yada. When it comes to the president of the United States, the gas being, darn near $200 a barrel. What you have to understand, what does he do? He reframes it. It's a positive. $200 a barrel, that's a discount when it comes to getting rid of Iran and then possibly having nukes. When it comes to getting rid of this terror on the world, everything they do is a positive. When it comes to slavery, we see, what do they constantly say? Our ancestors died to free the blacks, during the Civil War. What do? Reframe it as a positive. Hey, we did this for you, even though we know damn well that's not what happened. Now, if you were to give them pushback to that, well, they would reframe it again. They would say, well, which are you better off on, huh? Are you better off in Africa, or are you better off in the United States? You should be happy that we brought you over here, okay? Damn. Now, with that being said, this leads us to our 15 minutes of fame, Chud the Builder. And Chud the Builder is no exception to the rule. He's on his live stream. Guess what he's doing? He's playing the victim. Oh, woe is me. After all this terrorizing, being a domestic terrorist, and let me be clear, I'm no fan of Chud the Builder, but I'm also no fan of how Black America has handled Chud the Builder. This one man, okay, with an alleged gun, has shown Black Americans to be the true cowards that we are. Damn. You constantly want to beg for reparations, or demand, right? How do you demand something with no power? Then when you have someone who's a domestic terrorist just terrorizing the community, terrorizing Black people, Black men, Black women, in all walks of life, mum's a word. Now all of a sudden, he's a player. We're not going to fall for the trick bag. And you come with a litany of excuses. Why not to protect your neighborhood? Well, guess what that means? If you're not going to protect your neighborhood, well, you don't deserve a neighborhood.
Come on now, dog.
And in this country, that's how they handle things. We're not going to have any more Black neighborhoods. We're not going to have any Black communities. You're not going to have a place to live. You're not going to.
That's the direction we're headed in. We're at that juncture already.
Have a place to go to work. That is what's slowly and surely happening. Yeah. Why? Because every single time we have gotten exposed for being cowards. We have gotten exposed for wanting to be here in America, for wanting to have that tag, American, I'm Black American. And these people, these demons, know that you love that tagline more than you love actual freedom.
Wake up, nigga.
They know that you love that tagline of being American more than you love reparations, more than you love any type of healthcare, more than you love education change or reform, more than you love police reform. They know that. They know they have you by the huevos, all right?
Wow.
And they can do with you however you want. That you'll probably complain online, you'll do a little protest, but at the end of the day, you'll get right back in line. Damn. And Chud the Builder has exposed this on a multitude of levels. And just to interrupt for a second, I want to let everyone know of blackvotewatch.org. Its website builder is nevertheless a white ignorant. And as we've discussed, the white ignorants are poor and dumb. All right. It just is what it is. They are poor and dumb. And that's who the white elites love. And when I mean love, they love to exploit them. Just like our black people. I mean, I don't know about black elites, but are the black people within our community, there are grifters and hustlers who love to exploit the black community. There is no difference when it comes to the white community. Right. Their white elites love to exploit them. And we see when it comes to Chud being broke and being dumb, he is no different. He is on live stream complaining, being a victim. He's talking about how, the feds are watching him. He's got feds outside his house, how his dog was apparently yeeted. Now,
someone killed my dog, guys.
I will say, whoever did that, that's cold-blooded, bro. Let me get this straight. You're going to take it out on the dog and not the man? Make that make sense. You're going to punish the dog? The dog didn't have anything to do with this, brother. That's crazy to me. But, not that I'm advocating for any type of violence to befall, Chud the Builder, but I don't see why you would take it out on the dog. That's insane to me. But nevertheless, I digress. He then goes on to talk about, my own family doesn't want to mess with me and everything. And you can see that he wants to cry, bro. He wants to break down and cry, and rightfully so.
Who's helping me, bro?
It's ironic.
I can't even, my whole family doesn't even fuck with me, bro. I don't have federal agents. I don't have organizations. I don't have people behind me except you guys.
Look at little.
Here in California, we have lots of climate events. When you have solar and a power wall, I get to...
Coughlin Jr. Gonna cry?
And he mentions, who's helping me, man? Who's helping me? And that right there, that just little glimpse into how he thinks goes and show you that he's no different from the masses, bro. He's no different from the masses of the lineage of evil, of the white ignorance. It is what it is. That these people, this man has no profession, no job, no career. He's a baby daddy. He's all the stereotypes that they want to project onto black people. That's what they are. But at the end of the day, what does he have? At the end of the day, what is he proud of? He's not proud of his profession because he doesn't have one. He's not proud of his bank account because he's clearly not well off. He's not proud of his circumstance, his predicament. He's not proud of any of that. But what does he have? What is his refuge? His white skin. That, hey, he's not like the chimps. That, hey, he's not like these people, okay? That he's better than them. That's what he has. And Chud the Builder, as sad as this predicament may be, because, you can't help but feel bad for the dude. And when I mean bad for the dude, I don't have a problem feeling bad for someone and then watching them suffer. Damn. Okay, let me just be real clear, because some people think that, feeling bad is, let me help you. No. I don't help the demons, bruh. I don't help the devil. I will more than gladly watch you burn in the lake of fire. 100%. Isn't that right, Charlie? Yes, I have no problem with that. But what I will say is that Chud is really a blessing in disguise, okay? He's a blessing and a curse, because he's a blessing.
All right, here's the part y'all need to listen to.
Because we get to see, where the black community is. That all these people who have no problem going against their own, right? All these people who want to say, well, if you were to come over here, you'd come. Bro, what are you talking about? Well, you telling me there are places in the country that you can go in and completely terrorize black people and there's nobody will do anything? Bro, that's the last thing you want to let people know. That's the last thing you want anybody to know.
Wake up, nigga.
In addition to that, it's also a curse because you get to see that these people really, they're living in hell, right? You get to see that they're living in hell, and the only way that they can make sense of it is through hate. And I'm like, bruh, if y'all would just let go of your hatred, we could actually have a good country. We could actually end a racism. We can actually end a lot of whatever class warfare you think is going on. There would actually be a benefit to the country, to the citizens, to Americans. If you can do a January 6th, then I don't understand how you turn a blind eye to the man in the White House who's completely eroding this country, eroding our rights, eroding our privileges, eroding our history. The only way that happens is if they got you thinking, oh, well, that doesn't impact me because of the color of my skin. I'm white. I may be poor. I may not have any degrees. I may not be able to afford to go to college. I may not be able to afford a house. I may not be able to afford to have children, but at least I'm white. Damn. And it's really like, man, this is truly a trick bag. This is truly a conditioning that has not only happened to Black Americans in this country, as we can see, but also white Americans. I think it's a book I always recommend is Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome, but she also talks about how there's been post-traumatic slave master syndrome. These people who have nothing, who own nothing, will allow this country to be destroyed due to ego, right? Due to ego. And by that same token, many Black people will allow our communities to be destroyed, to be terrorized by, whether it's, Chud the Builder, whether it's law enforcement, whoever it is, due to that same lack of ego, where you have no confidence in yourself. You have no respect for who you are. At the end of the day, you nothing but a slave, bruh. At the end of the day, this country has shown that you are nothing but a slave. Then you have to think about this. What does a slave do? The slave doesn't dare go against the slave master. So what does the slave do? The slave picks fight with other slaves. That's what they do. And that's what's happened. Now, this has happened over a good period of time, don't get me wrong, but that conditioning is still there. You'll pick fight with your fellow Black man. You'll pick fight. Hell, it's so bad that you'll pick fights with people halfway across the world, bro. You'll pick fights with people in Africa. Anything other than the slave master.
Wake up, nigga.
I don't know what to tell you, bro. You don't survive with that mindset, bro. I mean, you can see the white ignorance. They're not going to survive with that mindset. Not that they were going to survive, to begin with, due to just genetics and whatnot. But I don't know what to tell you. It's not looking good.
All right. All right. I just want to drop that, man, because to me, there's something in that for us brothers and sisters. That's the truth. The truth. We won't do shit to nobody else, man. Only us. We'll tear each other down. We'll kill each other. We'll just act ignorant towards or against one another. But you got to do like Chud the Builder, who goes in these Black communities in this day and age, 2026, and call everybody he see the N-word and monkeys, the hardy R, and monkeys, and and just talk big shit to them. And some of these brothers, I've seen a few of the videos. I swear to you, this is just what I know. Some of these brothers in a different light, if we were out somewhere and they would mean mug me and want to be, ready to go in. But Chud the Builder pull up. These brothers is punks. But let me, you, any one of us pull up. We fair game. They not worried about the police coming or nothing. They gonna put in work on us quick. But Chud the Builder, no consequences. Yeah, this is a slave mentality. We're exercising a slave mentality, man. That's what we're working with, and that's sad. That's sad. Yeah, shit. I got another one though, man. I'm gonna drop it in a few minutes. And that's from the smart guy, man. He, dropping jewels and gems as well. But that was I Am the Amazing Lucas. And I get his point, and let's be honest, let's be realistic. That is our behavior. The police can come kick our ass, shoot us, kill us. Crackers do it. Beat our ass, talk shit, hang us. Now we have Chud the Builder walk right up in a black man or woman's face, and nobody does nothing. If that ain't a sign that we messed up, man, I don't know what is, man. I don't know. I mean, other than what we see occurring in our communities, that's the sign in and of itself. Same shit though. But anyway, yeah, man, I just thought I'd drop that, man, and give us something to think about, man. Yeah, yep. All right, Lisa Moore. I saw. Hey, Fat Rat, what it do, loved one? Fat Rat say peace to you and RGC, but Bub, man, right back to you, Fat Rat. Good to see you up in here. All right, Snipe, I see you, loved one. Over Snipe, salute right back to you, homie. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, man. So this is what we up against, man. We shit. A bunch of field hands fighting each other. And neither one of us put us in this predicament. But, this is who we carry out our anger on. This is who we deal with because we're frustrated living in a society that gives a, damn about us. We take it out on each other, that's not good, man. Chud the Builder can go, he done went in all them communities, black communities, and done this. And nobody's done nothing. You ain't lying. He ain't lying though. First excuse, or the first excuse out of somebody's mouth will be, hey, man, I ain't this and I ain't going to jail for that. I ain't. But let somebody say blood to you, cuz, Hoover, neighborhood, rolling, moving, grooving. You going to jail for that though. Get the hell out of here, man. That's some crazy shit, man. Yeah, that is, man. Now I got this other one. And this the smart guy, man. Smart guy is very intelligent. Like the guy. Hold on. I wish this is Instagram. Let's see. I don't know if I can even start this thing over. No.
Why all this technology is interested in music and hip hop.
Yeah.
This is the power that we have,
Right.
The power of leadership, because we're the original people, fathers of civilization, scientists of life, the true master builders. We the Masons before the Masons was calling themselves Masons. We invented psychology, mathematics, all that shit. So this is why hip hop is so impactful, because we created that shit. Anything we create, right, has leadership, qualities. So like I said, hip hop turns the culture into systems. Those systems have the power to shape how we talk, how we think, how we consume, how we feel, and how we behave. But tech companies, tech platforms monetize it.
That wasn't even the clip I wanted, but that was very insightful. We were just talking last night about what's the plan, what is it that we can do. And little do we know, the majority of us, that, man, we're capable of doing whatever the hell we want to do. You know what I mean? Whatever, is thrown at us, or whatever is told to us that's impossible to do, is a damn lie. It's a damn lie. So last night, the message was, hey, man, if we're spending $2 trillion a year in this country on things, products, hey, man, that's $2 trillion that we could use creating our own products and things to sell to them, because they'll buy them. They'll buy them. They'll act like they won't. They'll buy them. And if they act like they ain't going to buy them, all you got to do is wear it. All you got to do is put it on your feet, put them on your legs, put them on your shoulders, put it on your head. They'll buy it. All you got to do is show that, oh, this the shit. We bring credibility to shit. We validate shit, So, yeah, it's mind-boggling to me, man, to kind of understand what's going on, and yet realize that we're doing nothing, man, to improve our lot. That's kind of crazy to me, but that's a fact. That is actually what's happening. That's actually what happened. We create systems and we don't even know that. You know, we get to having these conversations, these dialogues on this Get Down, man. And I hear all the time, brothers like, all right, how we going to do that? Or what we going to do? What do you mean? You know, it's like, damn, man, don't nobody want to try? You know, again, we spend the type of money that whole countries combined don't even have a budget for, you know, can't even think of that number in terms of their country and what's going on in their country, what's bought and sold, what's produced. They can't even think at $2 trillion, you know? $2 trillion, man. What the hell we can't do? We can do anything we want. You know, like the brother said, man, we're a master whatever. You know, we were saying this last week, man. There's no greater mathematician, there's no greater mind on the face of the planet than ours. How the hell are we in this situation? And we created psychology. We understood the mind before they was even coming out of the caves, and yet they didn't turn this shit on us. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. But what I do know is, man, this shit makes no sense. It doesn't make any sense, man, for us to be in this situation, you know, for our people to be in this predicament when we have the wherewithal, man, to change all this shit. All right, Frederick Hasby, I see you, bro. Right back to you, man. For salutes, man. Yeah. You know, there's no reason in the world why we should be going through this. And we have everything at our disposal. We have us. Don't need nothing else. You know, we use the money, though, the seed money, you know what I mean, to get this shit up and running. All it takes, though, is a determination to do it, a willingness to do it. You know, us applying ourselves, putting forth that effort, that energy, that same energy we see being exercised in society on the streets and on social media every day. That same energy, just redirect it. You know, point it towards something more constructive, more positive, purposeful. God dang, man, we could do whatever the hell we wanted to do. You know, we could. You know, again, though, the saddest is just sad that we aren't. We're willing to stay plugged in, stay linked in, you know, and that's some crazy shit. That's some crazy shit. I wonder what, let me get this off here. There you go. You know, I just wonder what the thought processes are of brothers and sisters, especially here in the RGC. You know, does any of that make sense, you know, to know, well, one, do you agree with, you know, what Lucas was saying in terms of, man, how we carry on? You know, it's as if, yeah, man, for real, we're like cowards, you know, when it comes to dealing with these people. But, man, we stump down, man, with the business when it comes to dealing with each other. Yeah, something's wrong with that, you know. Something's wrong with that. You know, I don't even want to wonder how many individuals would let that dude do that to them. You know, I don't have to wonder about it. I've seen it. And I'm shocked. Like, damn, man, for real. You mean to tell me that shit is permissible? Brothers is doing that? They're allowing that? And yet let a brother walk by and say blood. Walk by and say cuz, hood, grew, and man, dudes will lose their lives. But let a cracker walk up to you and hit you with the hard ER. And it's okay. Oh, nah, he a plant. Nah, this is setup. What? The game banging ain't a setup? You know, put brothers in prison or in the grave. That ain't a setup. I don't get it, man. No, man. Hey, I see that B6. You say, man, that church guy has to be handpicking who he walks up to with that kind of energy. No, man, I've seen the videos, bro. I've seen brothers walking out of nightclubs with Hispanic women and white women, and he'll walk right up to them. I just saw this shit with my own eyes. I've seen brothers pull up in the gas station, get out of their shit. Thug brothers, you know, street brothers, hood brothers. And he'll walk up with his camera and hit him with that. And man, look, man, go check Chud the Builder. They ain't took his shit down yet. Go check it out. He ain't handpicking them. No. I've seen who I would imagine these individuals, these brothers, who I would imagine calling themselves in the hood or on the set anywhere else, hardcore cats. Break that shit down, don't do jack. I've seen it, man. I've seen that shit. Just as I've seen brothers do that to each other and go in. Either the police coming or the ambulance. But with that cat, I promise you, man, the only thing stopped him was the police. You know, one brother even pulled up, you know, he had his tool, but, and why would you even do that? You know, that made no sense to me. You know, one brother spit in his face. He laughed that shit off and just went in, you know, you know, and put out some mace and maced him. Yeah, I mean, I've seen this shit, man. So, yeah, no, I don't think he handpicking nothing. If he see you black, he walking up on you. Sisters, mothers, daughters. I've seen it, man. You know, so I don't know, man. Raymond Skull, man, peace and blessings, bub, to you as well as your family, man. Respect to the H community. Salute to my home kings and home queens in the Royal Group congregation. B1 equals black first. Good to see you up in here, Roscoe. You know, like to think that, you know, everything is everything and you're well, man. You are well. I posted that thing on the community thing too. And I looked at it, it looked like some of it was kind of chopped off. So I'm going to go and see if I can adjust it. But I did drop that for you. You know, I forgot to look out for Alonzo. So, but I got it in my thing now. Every Tuesday, that thing going to go in there for you, Alonzo. And that's on me, man. You know, just remiss, you know, lot going on over here, but I'll take care of it. Yeah. Chud the Builder, man. Chud the Builder. All right, Henry Sadello, he said, peace, family. Hope everything and everyone is good. Peace. Brother Bub, salute to you and yours. Right back to you, bro. Appreciate you being up in here with us, Henry, man. Yeah, man. So listen, again, man, this is the reality. You got this cracker running around with a cell phone on one of them selfie sticks, walking up on black people. And in most instances, just standing there waiting for some black to come. And he goes in on them. And most blacks, like Lucas was saying, you know, oh, man, you know, and walk away. You know, and most of these brothers I'm not going to, you know, call them gang related. You know, it might be affiliated. I don't know what they're doing in life, but they, you know, looks can be deceiving, but they got that look. And I'm thinking, oh, yeah, you know, come on, dog. You know, come on. And nothing happens. But again, you let a brother or a sister do that to one another. Don't blood me, don't cuz me, don't groove me, don't hood me. And it meant all hell's gonna break loose. We've seen them videos every day, you know? So, yeah, man, the fact that shit is occurring, man, and brothers are not doing anything is, look, man, it's just an example, man, of how messed up we are. We'll take off on each other, man, but we'll give these people a pass. You know, we'll give them a pass, man. That go for the Mahindas too, man. You know, we give them passes, man, but brothers and sisters don't get passes from brothers and sisters. That's coward shit to me, man. You know, that's coward shit. You know, and you know, Lucas called it out. In fact, what Charleston White was talking about on No Jumper was similar, but he just went overboard with it. But he said that. He said, man, brothers are cowards. What he said, you know, but he said it in a more, man, just spiteful and hurtful way, you know, to his brothers, you know, but, you know, it was wrong. Might have been some truth to it, but it was wrong, you know, and he did it on No Jumper. So, you know, I don't know, man. You guys tell me. Yeah, man, be that as it may. You know, I've checked out where sisters saying, yeah, they've been plugging him and all this shit, you know, dude. You know, yeah. Fact still remains, man. This Figure Nelly is still doing that to so-called stumped down brothers and sisters. And nothing is happening. I don't know, man. I don't know. I just shit. I wouldn't condone it. You know, shit. All right, J156.2 said, man, tell him to meet me at the gas station on Manchester and Western. Yeah. And you know, I don't know what state he in, but he's in one of them states. I'm pretty sure that, you know, this is just Chud the Builder. This is what we, you know, what we see because he recorded it. I don't want to imagine that this shit goes on a regular down there. It may do. It very well may be, you know, the circumstance down there. I don't know. You know, I don't know. Yeah, it might be a whole different get down, you know, here or in other places. It very well may be. You know, I would like to think that it would be a whole different get down, you know, and fuck a ass whooping, but you know, oh, he's in Memphis. Oh my God. Yeah, man, that's not good, man. That's not good. And see, that's how they got them balls. See, they got balls down there in Memphis because them the same people just took the vote from the black folks. So you already know what's cracking, you know. And again, that's just what we see. You know, there's a whole lot going on we ain't seeing. I'm pretty sure of it. And that's not a good look for Memphis, man. I have to say, brothers in Memphis, what are y'all doing? What's wrong, man? But they got that gang shit down there too. And I'm willing to wager they more prone to get on each other's neck, you know, pop off rounds at each other rather than deal with this, you know, this cracker and his BS. That's sad. That's sad. That's some messed up shit. Frederick Hasby said, man, we always give others passes. And I'm telling y'all, man, that shit is so prevalent, man. We every day, everybody's getting a pass from us, but we not giving each other passes. Hey, man, something wrong with that. Every day, man, somebody's getting a pass from us. We're letting somebody get away with something that they should not get away with. And again, hey, I'm not advocating violence either. I'm just saying, I'm speaking to the reality of what's happening, what's taking place with brothers and sisters in this country. When it comes to other people, man, we give passes. When it comes to each other, we ain't giving no passes. Again, you hear this on social media all day long. I ain't giving no passes. You know, he from where? He ain't getting no pass. You know, you hear this shit all day, every day, man. B60, I refuse to give him any views. I saw a post about it, just couldn't watch. Yeah, man. And it's some sad shit. And my thing was, I was like, hell, no, this some, you know, man, I tell you this how messed up it is, man. I'm thinking it was some BS, man, some skit type shit. I ain't gonna lie. Until I saw that he had multiple videos, you know, doing this shit. I said, oh, this is some real shit, man. This ain't no skit, man. This is what the fuck going on. And I've seen it for myself. Crazy. J150 said, man, look at how the gang members let Adam 22 and No Jumper emasculate them for a little fame. Hey, J150, the first time seeing you, welcome, man, to Undergroove Podcast, man. I've been talking about that for a year, bro, or better. I've been talking about that for a year or better, you know. Just recently, I heard, I don't watch No Jumper. That clip I'm talking about where Charleston White was on there just recently, I think, was sent to me. Somebody sent it to me. And that was just some shameful shit. It's so disrespectful of Charleston White to do that. For one, to do it with this that cracker too was just that was even worse. But I just heard today that he tried to, have a debate with the brother Spody Face about the N-word. Basically saying, hey man, I can say it. What became this thing, man. I ain't saw the video or nothing. Somebody was telling me that. I said, man, I don't understand why them brothers go on that get down. I mean, I just don't get it, man. I don't get it. I don't know if it's for fame, but I don't know why they do it, man. And you can name all of them, and all of them, man. Damn, the trip about that is, man, most of them are in jail. If they come on telling, they give you a whole lot of shit. They go to jail as a result of going on this shit, man. They go in there, man, acting out with one another. Some of them going there cool. By the end of the show, they enemies, sworn enemies. They're ready to fight each other in front of this dude, man. All kind of shit. I don't get why brothers even go on that show. And some of these brothers got their own platforms, their own channels. Why are you going on this show? Let them tell it it's a hustle, getting paid. They're getting a bag. Yeah, I've been talking about that, bro. I talk about that so much I got tired talking about it. Wasn't nobody listening, and that's fine, Sam Evans said, man, Big Bub, but what does that say about us? So I think that it says a lot about us as a people. All right. So let's say that's just Memphis. I'm willing to wager there are other states where brothers, that shit is allowed. That shit would be done, So what that says about us is, yeah, man, we ain't got no real balls, man. You know what I'm saying? We perpetrating the fraud, man. Again, man, and we do that with them people. We play hard with them people, we hard on each other, but when it comes to them, man, we know we ain't, we some cream puffs, man. We some cream puffs, man. That slave mentality still exists in us, man. That's what it do. That's what it means, I think. We still under that mentality, man, that mindset, man, where, them type of people, them white people can say what the hell they want to most of us, and then I've seen them videos too, those fuck around and find out videos, stop messing with black people. There's always so much, we let it build up, man, instead of immediately handling the situation when it occurred. We let it, man. I've seen videos, brothers on the job, white people putting their hands on them and just, and it take, come on, man. I've seen it, man. White people hitting people, man, and people being all cool, calm, and collected. I guess it's only after they felt just too embarrassed they decide to react, and they're still scared when they do. It says a lot about us, man. A lot about us. This shit happens, man, all the time. I'm willing to wager that, man. What that says about us when we ain't got our shit together, man. We not as strong as we think we are. We only strong towards each other. That's what it says about us. We're only willing to deal with each other, trip on one another. We ain't willing to trip on those who are tripping on us outside our skin, those other people. We ain't got no solution for them, man. We'll take their shit as if we still in the field. We still got a slave mentality. That's what it says. The police can walk up to brothers in front of their mothers or their wives, their daughters, and disrespect them. Why is that? Why is that? And nobody can say that don't happen. That happens. That happens. It ain't gonna happen to me, but it happens every day, man. Every day. You got some races of people, they want to be police just for that reason. And we know this, and yet we don't do shit. Talk to us like we boys. Treat us like we're children, like we're scum, we're nothing. And they'll disrespect us in front of our women. What does that say about us? We're still under that slave mentality. We still think like slaves. We're scared of, meting out what people deserve when they get disrespectful. That's what I think it says, That's what I think it says about us. We under this, we're still under this, this slave shit, man. And we can't deny it. I mean, it's evident, man. Just look at how we carry on. That's just, that's how I see it. Kimberly Mitchell, all right, sis. Good to see you, Queen. She say, Hoover, hey, real ones. Just want to say, love y'all. I went to my uncle Jerry memorial dinner Saturday. Chopped it up with fam. Then I got a call last night. My cousin Taryn passed. Love, get your spirit right. Man, we sent our condolences. I send mine to you, though, Kimberly, man. Sister, and that's one of the worst things to deal with, too, to lose loved ones, So I send my condolences to you, sister. Right? Ain't nothing like that, man. That's the truth. B60, man, says, hey, man, look, our people can't be that lost as to what kind of disrespect that is to our ancestors, let alone self. But we are. We are, bro. We are. We have to stop denying this shit, man. We have to stop denying this shit, man. We are. A lot of our people turn blind eyes to that shit, and they will say it, man, quick as day. Oh, man, that's just a word. Oh, that ain't nothing, man. Oh, he ain't gonna put his hands on me. Oh, man, I ain't trying to hear that. Oh, man, that shit don't faze me. That may be true for a lot of brothers and sisters because they use the word all day them damn selves. I don't care about the ER or the A. They use it. So, they're pretty, immune to it. I think that the only time you may see a brother or sister go buck wild behind it is because other brothers and sisters are there to witness it. And how that go. You let that happen, you walk away, oh man, you let that say that to you and do, they're gonna spread the word. You know what I mean? So for the most part, I think most of them do it because okay, my peers are here. Now I gotta act out. Nah, man, what if ain't nobody there? How that shit been handled, But our people, man, are cool with that shit. They have conversations, man, in professional settings and others, man. Just everyday occurrences. And that's all you hear coming out their mouths. And then the crazy part is they have the audacity to be upset when somebody else use it on them. And it's all they do to each other all day. It's some crazy shit to me, man. But hey, that type of disrespect take place every day, man. I imagine it. I'm pretty sure it does. And people will say, well, I wanted to keep my job. You say nothing about their dignity, their self-respect. Then say nothing about keeping that intact. Because again, we so plugged in, man. We'll let people get away with shit because we're thinking about, hey, man, we're worried about other things, man. That really, and you look at it, man, at face value, man. The shit don't mean nothing. They just got us playing. We're making them rich. That's all. It has no true meaning to us. You know what I mean? But people will allow people to disrespect them, and the first thing, man, hey man, should I keep my job, man? And they expect people to understand that. I wouldn't understand it. I ain't understanding none of that. I wouldn't give a damn. But people are that lost, B60. They are. And we know it. We know it, man. We see it, man. We just tend not to want to pay attention to it as well. We know this shit. It happens every day, you know. And black people will hear or see other black people being treated like that, and the first thing in their mind will come out their mouth, well, he wasn't talking to me. Shit like that. Yeah, this shit happens, man. Yeah, he's in Memphis, huh? And whoever he was talking to said, oh, man, I do this for y'all or whatever. He talking to his people who probably didn't egg him on, you know. I didn't even pay attention to what type of numbers he was doing, you know what I mean? Subscribers and, you know, how many, you know, I didn't even pay attention to that, man. I wish I had, because I could, you know, I'm pretty sure, though, a lot of them love that shit. In fact, a lot of them love it so much it inspired them. And so who's going to be the next Chud? we will see another Chud in a minute, you know. These are just low-level Nick Fuentes and Charlie Kirks, you know, just low-level ones, you know what I mean? Like Lucas said, these are the dumb ones, you know, but this shit is every day, man. Every day, man, we're being disrespected. We don't do jack. But let another brother or sister say something to you that you don't agree with or you don't want being said to you, all hell's gonna break loose. Facts, man. Them is facts. B60 said, man, MLK was assassinated in Memphis. They can't be that slow, man. All right, y'all. I see, if we're gonna wake up, man, we're gonna have to wake up, man, fully, man. We can't wait. It can't be no partial coming out of this slumber, man. We got to wake fully, be awake, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, this shit, man. Come on. Nah, man. Man, shoot. I recall I was in Mississippi, man, back in 92 before I went away, right? We was in some, I think it was a Circle K or something, you know. And back there you see chicken, you know. So I pull up, boom, jump out, man. Me and another person go in there, you know, and walk past this cracker, you know what I mean, and go straight. Hey, you know, give me, you know, 3 piece for whatever, what, you know. This motherfucker say, hey, ninja, you don't see me waiting here? That's all I need to hear. The cold part about it was the sister I was with panicked. Oh, what are you doing? You can't do that. They're like, get the fuck out. And I left her ass too. What the hell? What? Y'all do that shit down here. How come we don't do that shit? You know? The coldest part about it was the sister was in a panic because I was beating this dude ass. Not only the one that went, the sister behind the counter was panicking too. You gonna go to jail? What are you doing? Like, man, I don't want to give a damn. That's the coldest part about it, man. We got people that, man, they slow like that. You know? They're slow like that, man. And that ain't just Memphis. We even got some here. Got a whole lot of them here, too. A whole lot of them here. B60 said, man, he must not be showing the ones when he got his ass whooped. I can't attest to that. I don't know that, bro. But I've seen more than a few of them. And you know how, you know, nowadays these brothers, they square up this funny shit. They do some shit like this. You know, how they want to fight now, you know, like, but they ain't doing nothing, you know. And I'm like, oh man, this is embarrassing, man. This is embarrassing. You know, but I ain't seen one where somebody just like fuck it, for beat your ass, you know. So I don't know, man. I ain't seen it. Can't say that none exist. I just haven't seen them. All the ones I seen, brothers was standing for that shit. They was allowing it, and I have to say, man, I just think that it's what it is, man. With a lot of our people, man. It's a mentality. It's a cold slave mentality that still exists with our people. That's what I think. Man, old soul with a cold stroll, man. He came in dropping the gym just now, man. He said, man, blacks don't fear consequences against other blacks. Man, ain't that something? Because master expect that, you know what I mean, for us to trip on each other. But we fear consequences dealing with them. For doing the same to them that we would do to each other. We all, first thing we think about are consequences. The first thing. I just like if a police officer pulls a brother or sister over and they get to going in, the first thing brothers say, man, shit, man. I don't want to go to jail. So I'm gonna let him disrespect me in front of my mama, in front of my wife, in front of my daughter, my sister, my son, you know. Fear is fear, man. It's fear. But if it's us, ain't no fear, man. These brothers are superheroes when it come to each other, man. They do superhero shit. You can't tell them shit. Sam Evans said, man, he's protected by law enforcement. Well, yeah, he uses that white privilege in a way, but wasn't no police around there when he was doing all that shit, man. He didn't have security or nothing. This crack was by himself. He's by himself. Now, people around have called the police on him. I don't see why, but that's what they did, you know. That's what they've done. But hey, man, I didn't see no law enforcement around him. But I get what you mean. Yeah, a lot of us think, okay, he's a white guy. You know, the police gonna get me before they get him. You know, again, so they'll accept that disrespect. They'll allow themselves, man, to be disrespected. They'll allow their dignity, man, to be eviscerated, stripped from them because they're in fear. I think that's wrong, bro. B60 said, my daughter has to go to court next month about a cracker thinking it's 1940. Yeah. And y'all, you know what, man? There are so many of them that still think like that. There are a lot of them that think like that. I just heard the other day on oh my God, I remember this podcast. Man, this brother said some shit that just messed me up, man. And this is the mindset of us, man. The brother said something to the effect, hey, man, you know, it's best to just go and let them do that and go about your business because, you know, if not, you're going to be in jail. They're going to arrest you first, you know. And I'm thinking, no, man. No, man. You know, he walked away talking about, yeah, they still think this 1940s, da, 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 da. Of course. No. But ain't no way in the world, man, we supposed to allow no shit like that. We're not supposed to allow that, man. 1940s or not, man. And again, we look, man, this society is full of them people. It's full of them. More than we suspect. Way more than we suspect. All them farmers down south or, you know, in the bread belt or, you know, farmland USA, man, all them feel that way. All them farmers that let Trump take all their workers were jumping for joy thinking we were coming back to the fields. That should tell us, that should give us a great idea of what they think or how they see us, how they view us. Them bastards thought we was coming back to the fields, man. And only a person who's a bigot, you know, who's racist or, you know, is a part of that construct, that white superiority complex, whatever, would think that, would expect that, you know. This country full of them people, man. You know, we're starting to see them come out of the woodwork now in corporate America. We're starting to see that. When Trump took away DEI and affirmative action, All he did was open the door for these corporations, these companies, these professional places, these white collar business corporations to resume, or not resume because they've always done it, but to out in the open be prejudiced or discriminate against blacks. And I'm telling y'all, man, everything that's being done, that's happening, man, that we see taking place in the United States, man, it's all by design, man. This is what they've been working towards this. They've been working towards this. I had a brother get at me last night in the comments about a brother who's a politician. All right. And the brother that was making the comment, he said basically, hey man, you see, if you ain't went and talked to this brother, he's a politician, you ain't went and talked to him, he over here on 84th in Vermont. If you ain't went and talked to him, nah, man, then you ain't doing your game, blah, 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 right? I didn't take offense. What I did is I went and researched the brother. You know, now he made the statement he made about me not talking to this black politician because what I'm saying about politicians, they're selling us out. Politics is a grift, man. It's just a hustle now because none of them are doing their job. None of them are doing their job, man, where we're concerned. Most of them today would tell you we're not doing nothing for black folk alone. We're doing something for everybody, you know. So come on. Anyway, so I went and researched this brother. You know, that's what I'm going to do. And I wasn't pleased that I found what I knew would be there. You know, I was more disappointed in the brother for protecting somebody he didn't go research his damn self. So what he just saw was a brother in the community making like he got the community's back. Not realizing, though, that this brother who used to work with Karen Bass, they mess with them little black hat people. The coldest part about that, not the fact that they just messed them, you know what I mean, but still, you know, but the organizations that they rubbing elbows with, those organizations rub elbows with the little black hat lady named Judith Vinay Shore. She's the one whose face is all over YouTube saying the existential problem for Israel ain't really the Arabs. It ain't the Palestinians. It's black youth. We got to do something about that. This is recorded. It's on YouTube. That ain't AI. That ain't nothing else. Come to find out, so the brother and Karen Bass and them rub elbows with the people that rub elbows with her. Their programs are mirrored off this lady. That was my research. I found it. And again, I wasn't pleased. You know what I mean? I'm more disappointed that, okay, we don't do our homework. We just accept shit for what it is, you know, and that's part of the problem. Nobody's willing to do the work, man. The real work. We got these brothers and sisters. Hey, man, a lot of them are perpetrating the fraud, man, because everything is a grift now. Everything's a hustle, you know. When it comes to us, man, we fair game. Everybody else, they play by the rules with, you know. I'm like, hey, man, come on, man. Nah, that shit ain't cool. I don't give a damn who that dude is. You know, in fact, I'm going to find out. This shit's simple, especially when they're in politics. Ask the right questions, man. Shit come up. One thing, though, I noticed, he hid what he's worth, right? To me, that's a red flag. He hid what he's worth. Now, how are you able to do that? That ain't that simple. You know, you can find out what the president worked. You can find out what any politician worked. for whatever reason, I couldn't even get to what his net worth is. But what I do understand, he came up doing this nonprofit thing. And I have to say, and I say this respectfully, I don't, I'm not saying this to disrespect nobody, but I think nonprofits are two things. One is a grift, it's a hustle for a lot of our brothers and sisters. Some of them, not all of them. Some of them actually do the work. They get that money, they make it work for the community. Others take that money, man, buy cars, homes, shit like that, clothes, jewelry. That's what they do. I'm not saying nothing don't nobody already know. And if you don't know, you should know that, right? But that's one aspect of it. The other aspect of a lot of these nonprofits is the fact that when you receive or take money from the government, that's really not your nonprofit. You know that, right? You're going to follow the rules. You're going to do shit according to how they want shit done. And in most cases, depending on how much money you got to let them know, man, how this shit is being spent, what the program is really about. And they might even have suggestions for you and ideas. So we'll include this and that and a third. Ain't your shit. So it's, when you take money from people, trust, man, always know, man, there's going to be strings attached. Always. That's just a fact, But there that is, I don't give a fuck. I don't care what community he was in doing that shit. One thing I do know is that, man, he had to know he was messing with these people, man, and these people don't got no love for us, man. Straight up. And that's my issue. Part of it about politicians. They don't care, man. Long as they palms are getting greased, they're getting it under the table, however that may come, as long as they getting paid, man, that's all that matters. Now I could go on 84th in Vermont, where this place is supposed to be, and I can look around and I'll tell you what benefits the community receive as a result of that place being there, or that whatever it is, Ain't no improvements over there, man. Apartment complexes going up, man. Blacks owning that stuff. Blacks can barely get in there. New restaurants popping up everywhere. New buildings, new facades, new businesses. It's all being gentrified. Blacks ain't got nothing to do with none of that. So I want to hear that shit. That's just me. But when we talk about the people, man, not being on point, man, that's part of it, man. We're not on point. Again, man, we got all this bravado for one another, but we ain't got none, man, for the real, them people. And again, a lot of us have to understand that, hey, man, we be fighting each other, man, before we ever get to them. We'll be, that's where our disagreements gonna come from. Our fights, our battles gonna come from each other like they are already. We're not fighting nobody else, man. That's just crazy. But yeah, man, again, that's just me, man. You ain't gotta take my word for it. Anytime these politicians, man, get to popping up talking this yin yang, man, outside of their necks, man, research them. Where'd they come from? Where'd they come from? What school they went to? How long have they been doing something other than what they're doing now? Find out the network. That shit is easy. That shit is simple to do, but we won't do that. We got a whole lot of that shit in the communities, man. And them ain't the only ones. It's all kind of people, grifters over there, man. It's all kinds. So shit. I don't know, man. I'm just saying, man, this shit is out here and it's real. And we the ones, we the ones ain't getting shit for it. Just a lot of disrespect. B6 said, man, you should not be disrespected by anyone of any color, period. That's just it. You know? Larry Johnson, welcome to this Get Out, man. You said, man, if Chud was black, if Chud was black, ninjas would have been got him out the way. Yeah. Man, they would have pushed up, jumped out, man, with tools and everything. You know what I mean? Wouldn't have gave a damn about no cameras or nothing. You know, all of a sudden, you know, I guess they worry about cameras. It's a white guy. Let there been a brother, man, with his blue rag out where he ain't supposed to be, or his red rag out where he shouldn't be, or his orange rag. Blood and cuds and crim and groove and hood. And, man, come on. They wouldn't have gave a damn about no police, about no cameras or nothing. That's what's wrong with us. B60 said, man, that's that APAC. Yeah, well, APAC don't directly deal with this individual I'm talking about. But what I do know, of what I learned about APAC, and they the top ones, them in J Street, they got what you would call like a subsidiary, you know, another little pack way over there in the corner, and they'll go around and, you know, drop off that cat. Hey, man, go get it. You know, that's how they getting down, you know. And so they'll say, well, that one over there is not attached. They have no affiliation. Bullshit. Yeah, they do. It's just that they know how to play the game. They know how to make that money change hands, go to places where, you know, it'd be hard to trace it. You know, they got ways of writing off that shit and making like, hey, we put it on this instead of saying it went to that, you know. But yeah, APAC, man, J Street, man, man, all of them. Our people are dealing with these people, man, and selling us out, you know. Again, that's just one aspect of this get down, man, of what we, you know, have to deal with, what we face with. And that's some sad shit. Lonzo said, man, they all trying to get at us. Man, they ain't trying. They doing it. And I'm telling y'all, this shit that's going on in these states with these votes and all that, man, there's a whole bigger picture, man, behind that shit. A whole lot more going on than that. Trust that, man. A whole lot more. B6 said, man, we have to stop voting by face and start voting by what is done while in office. That part. But I don't think it's going to matter now, man, because especially for those brothers and sisters down south, you know, that shit, that airplane left the hangar, man. The GOP got that. These states are redistricting as we speak. So when vote time comes, there's not going to be a candidate that resemble, you know, black voters. You know, those representatives won't have nothing to do, won't understand what, you know. That's where the disenfranchisement come in at. That's where that comes to play. But hey, hey man, that's a great point. That's a great point. We've said on this show before, man. We get these politicians, they want to campaign, they want to come, they want to get voted in office, and nobody vets them. You know, nobody vets these people, man. You know, we don't know. We don't know, man. I just did a piece on a brother the other night out of Prince George's County over in Maryland. He was a frat dude, right? There was an event that the fraternity threw. They threw an event to raise money for something or another. He's in this club though. During the event, you know, they all standing around, gang of brothers and sisters. I mean, it was packed. But he's on the back of another brother, you know, whispering in his ear, talking shit. You could tell he's talking shit. He woofing. He got his drink in his hand, talking big shit. Boo, 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 boo. The brother turn around, say something to him, man, go back to now they in the same fraternity. The brother turn, say something, man, and go back to his drink, grab his drink, man. Dude, get up on him again, woofing through the room. Bro, turn around, pushed him. Like, you know, man, get the fuck off me, you know. Dude didn't drop his drink or nothing. He got up with the drink, boom, cracked dude with the glass. Messed him off, basically. Messed him off so bad they gave him attempted murder, second degree attempted murder. Here's the twist though. Here's the get down. These were frat brothers. Now I don't know what they was arguing about. I don't know, some DL shit or something. I don't know. Dudes could have been. I don't know what the hell was going on. But this is what I do know. A year later, no, I take that back. The charges get dropped. The attempted murder charge gets dropped, and it gets dropped because the dude who tried to pretty much is whatever, his godfather is a politician over there. Not only that, but his godfather is super cool with this senator, this sister who's about to resign, and so he got off. The other dude did too. They charged them both, but this brother had 2 felony charges: second degree attempted murder, and I think the other one was great bodily injury. It was some shit, it was some shit. Anyway, he got off, and the case gets expunged. Right? He don't even have a record. You can't even go and see that he, nothing happened. A year later, well, now he's talking about, hey, I want to run for Senate. I want to run for Senate. And mothers are thinking like, hey, man, wait a minute. Weren't you the guy that got arrested, a couple of years ago? Hey, man, the way this dude is trying to explain this shit, and he's trying to, in fact, he's really arrogant about it. He did an interview. I got the whole thing. I did a piece on it. And I'm like, man, this can't be real, man. This can't be real. And I looked at it like this, man, this brother's that desperate. See, politics is lucrative. Politics is a very lucrative hustle, And he's up there on this news channel explaining away what happened, wanting to, just the shit made no sense. And again, come to find out, man, this dude is related to people who are in politics. So I'm saying that to say, we don't even know who most of these people are, man. We got some politicians probably, man, ain't no telling. You know what I mean? Ain't no telling. Ain't nobody vetted these people, man. Ain't nobody went and researched these people, man. Where you come from, man? How'd you get involved in this, man? What school you go to, man? Do you own property now? What's your net worth? Shit like that. We don't know, man. A lot of these people, man, they coming in, or they're being, look, man, these fraternity people, these sorority, they connected. They're connected. And a lot of them are in politics, a lot of our politicians are from fraternities and sororities, and I'm saying that to say, man, we don't even know half these people, man, what the hell they about. We don't know if they really for us or not, And these people, man, they also have a certain mindset, man, where, they're talking, blacks do this with each other too. We play that classism shit too. If you're a poor black and, I'm a rich black, then I got issues with you. You's a poor ninja. You ain't talking about nothing, I ain't gonna do shit for you. You know what I mean? But politicians, man, are not vetted. We don't know who these people are, man. So anybody can get in. That shit I did last night, it got me to, looking into Karen Bass. Oh shit. The shit I found out. I mean, golly. And this shit is crazy. This shit is crazy. We don't know half of what we should know dealing with these people, man. Yeah, so we could stop voting by face and we could start, okay. Again, I said, or it was said here, our votes need to be transactional. So we get a new candidate, a politician want to come in, want to get voted in. Okay, man. First off, we got to have a contract with you, And this contract says, it spells out, man, what, we expect of you. If we get you up in there, if it don't work in the contract, say, okay, we're going to recall your ass. We're going to turn around and vote you out. We're going to get you out of there. We ought to know that shit, man. We ought to do shit just like that. If they don't do the job, man, or the people, the work of the people, shit, get them out of there. And we got a whole lot of them in there, man. They shouldn't be there. That'd be a good way to go, though. A good start. It's a good suggestion. I've had that suggestion. I thought about it. BC said we have to stop voting by face and start voting by what is done while in office. Yeah, them re-election time come up and they ain't done their job. yeah, man, you already know you gone. That's a good way to go about doing shit. Sam said, man, I think we love getting grift so much we believe it's normal. True that. Most of us, we don't, the hustle. That's all that matter. And the hustle ain't necessarily, hustling with your own business, trying to get something from the ground up. You know what I mean? Most of us think in terms of the real hustle, the grift or the graft, finagling, you know, twisting and turning. You know what I'm saying? That is it. A lot of us think that way. A lot of us think that way. B6 said, a preacher told me that he loses his 501c3 if he preaches certain truths, but he doesn't follow their rules. I've heard that before. There's a rumor, or it's alleged, that Trump had called a lot of black preachers, I think on his first term, and sat them down and told them basically what they built, what they need to, what them sermons should be about, and if they go outside of that, get down that, that what they told, or what they've been told to preach about, or, in turn, the messages to get to the people, they would lose their 501c3. I actually heard that. It's been alleged. I've heard it before. I wouldn't doubt it. And you got to give it some credit, man. Look at these preachers, man. That's another thing, man. The hell? God told me that I need to tell y'all to get me a Rolls Royce, a jet plane. I'm talking about Creflo Dollar. I ain't talking about the cracker. Man, this shit crazy, man. All right, Poke Mitchell, he said, man, what it do, UTG, Brother Bub? Glad to see you. Salute to the RGC and kings and queens alike. Best live, man. Appreciate you up in here, bro. I know you got it done today, huh? Get it, man. Get it. Good to see you here, bro. Peace and prosperity to you and the fam, bro. You're going to say, man, what's being chopped up on UTG, bub? Man, we just talking about, I don't know if you heard about this, Pope. Chud the Builder. This cracker goes around with his cell phone accosting black people, calling them the N-word, and blacks not doing nothing as a result of it, But anyway, he didn't work himself into a corner where, now, the feds is on him, his family won't mess with him. I imagine, he lost a lot of subscribers or something. I don't know, but he's crying about it now. He's crying victim. That's what we were having that discussion. Why is it that brothers don't do nothing to them crackers when they get down like that? What's happening? Is that still part of the slave mentality? And we in fear of checking or correcting massa. Why would we allow ourselves to be disrespected? Why would we, give up our dignity in front of our wives, our daughters, our mothers and shit, and take abuse from these people and do absolutely nothing, but let a brother come and say something to you. All hell gonna break loose. You already know how that go, bro. You're going to say, Bub, that's why we have to be careful on how we go against brothers that, hold on. All right, Bub, that's why we have to be careful on how we go against brothers that fight different than others, as long as it is for blacks. All right. B6 said, man, local elections are the key. School board, city council, mayor, etc. That's another thing. We talked about that also, though, B60. I recall us having this conversation a couple of months ago, even further back than that, where, yeah, man, we would want our young brothers and sisters to get involved with politics. I think that's a good look, and start from the ground level. You know what I mean? Work your way up, learn that shit to the point where you know exactly how to go in there and put in the work for the people. Yeah, man, starting from, assembly person, city council, school boards, shit like that. Yeah, get a feel for that shit, understand how it really works. Just don't get caught up in it. You think back, right? All these school boards in some of these cities in Los Angeles, these city councils, these assembly person, people who were getting caught fleecing the people. I mean, man, large sums of money, man. They was winning, fleecing the people. And these weren't black people. These weren't black politicians, mind you. They were Mexican politicians, some white, and was getting paid, man. Yeah, it's a hustle, man. It's a grift, man. That's what it is. Large sums of money involved, large sums of money. Folks say you could say a lot of things about Roland Martin, but do you think that he fighting his best fight for the brothers and sisters? I'm gonna tell you what I think, man, about Roland Martin. I think Roland Martin is a gatekeeper, bro. I think Roland Martin thinks he's Boule. That's what I think about Roland Martin, man. That's what I think about Roland Martin. See, because if he was really serious about this get out, man, listen, man, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that, man, our brothers and sisters who go into politics are not doing their job. I haven't seen Roland Martin call out nobody, man. Do I think he should? Yeah, he's supposed to call them out. He's supposed to call them out. I haven't seen Roland Martin say nothing about the FISA bill, 702. That's the surveillance, the surveillance bill or surveillance act that the CBC, the Congressional Black Caucus, just okayed to come back into circulation in the black communities. I ain't see Roland Martin say nothing about that, and I'm pretty sure he know about it. I'm pretty sure. I don't know, man. I don't see him going in on those brothers and sisters who would rather send Israel tens of billions of dollars than send that money to these communities that need them, black communities. I ain't seen him go in on nobody, man. He's up in arms about, the crackers still in the vote or, disenfranchising black voters. Okay, but wait a minute, man. A lot of brothers and sisters ain't getting it, and he might be one that, hey, man, those politicians who are our brothers and sisters who are politicians pretty much allowed this shit to happen. They're the reason why this shit happened, because they weren't doing their job, man. They were doing everybody else's working job. They were looking out for Israel, man, and other demographics, ethnicities. They weren't taking care of the people, man. That's why this shit happened, man. Tell the truth. That's why it happened. But I don't see Roland Martin going in on them about any of that. Not at all. He supports some of the most corrupt politicians, in our history, man. Crooks. He support them. Nah, I don't know, man. Nah, not good. That ain't good, bro. His best fight would be to call a spade, man, and a duck. Anytime he see a chicken or a turkey trying to act like a duck, he supposed to call that shit. Anytime he see a heart or a diamond trying to play like it's a spade, he supposed to call that shit. He don't do that, man. Man, I'm telling you, man. Nah. He want to be Boule, gatekeeper, bro. And he rub elbows with all the Boules and the gatekeepers. That's what they do. What they do, man. He don't call shit like he should. We got them brothers and sisters up in politics, man. They are super rich. But their constituents, the districts, you know, them areas, man, that need to, man, they look the same, man. You know, come on, man. That's bull crap, bro. Rakufu, what it do, loved one? He said, we will prevail as a creation of the creator, despite the haters. All right. I ain't doubting that. B60 said, man, my mom just walked in and asked what the topic is, and she said that is unacceptable. And see, this, I'm gonna tell you something too. You know, our older brothers and sisters, you know, them that came up in the 60s or 70s and 80s, they don't play a whole lot of this stuff, man. You know, hey man, you just got to whoop my ass, but we finna get down because you done disrespected me. You know what I mean? You got to give them that, man. I've seen more older brothers and sisters react to shit that younger brothers and sisters don't know they supposed to react to. I've seen them go, you know. I've seen them go. Yeah, man. So, you know. Rakufu say, word of the day, man, is rumination. All right. After months of rumination, the historian developed a comprehensive theory linking the civilizations of the Nile Valley, the Sahara, and West Africa into a single civilizational continuum. That's a wordsmith for you. Rakufu is our wordsmith, y'all. Appreciate that. Poke said, man, Roland expressed how he felt about the black vote. And that's what I hear today. A lot of times we don't know what our vote counts for. Now, when I discuss the vote, the vote I talk about most that has really don't matter is the presidential vote, you know, the popular vote. I mean, it does help the electoral college to decide, you know, who wins the presidency, but that vote is really some symbolic, I think. But below that, you know, when it comes to senators, Congress people, you know, representatives, things like that, yeah, them votes should count. But I'm gonna tell you what nullifies those votes when we go to vote is the fact that we waste them on the wrong people. That's what I think. See, again, I don't see Roland Martin going and saying, you know, to any of the, you know, to Cory Booker or Hakeem Jeffrey, hey man, how are you sitting up there bootlicking with Rabbi Schmutz or whatever that dude's name is? Why are you doing this in that community? You got issues in New Jersey, man, in New York, man, that regard or concern the people that haven't been taken care of. I don't see him calling out. That's my whole point is this, man. Yeah, the vote matters, man, but it matters way before we even cast it. It matters to the extent where, man, we're supposed to know how valuable or important that vote is before we waste it on somebody. I don't see Roland Martin going and saying, hey, Booker, hey, Jeffries, Meeks, Clyburn, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? I've never seen him do that. I have not once seen him do that. He won't do that. He don't do that because he rub elbows with them. You know, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. You know, and again, this guy is cool with known corrupt politicians, black corrupt politicians. He cool with them. I'm just saying, bro. Some of these bootleg, these gatekeepers, man, these bootlickers, they know exactly how to carry on and act. They got scripts for that shit. They know how to act, you know, indignant when something go wrong, you know, but the whole time, man, come on, man. As intelligent as they are, you mean to tell me they couldn't figure out this shit was going to happen? Black politicians not doing their job, man, not representing the people, man. And you mean to tell me they didn't know this shit was going to happen? I beg to differ, man. I beg to differ. All right, but hold on. Polk says Roland expressed how he felt about the black vote, and that's what I hear today. A lot of times we don't know what our vote counts for. You're going to say, Bub, you have did a good job on enlightening the B1s about our voting system, but it's the wisdom and knowledge of knowing where our real fight lies. Are you saying, but is it the reason, you know? Well, I get the gist of it. Here's the thing. I think we all try to educate each other in terms of how we should exercise our vote, how we should utilize it. You know, one of the ideas I advocate is, hey man, our votes should be transactional. B60 said a little while ago, hey man, yeah. Before you get our vote, we got to see you in action, man. Do the damn thing, man. You know, do what you're supposed to do for the people. You know what I mean? I think that's a transactional, you know, circumstance. You know, okay, this politician, he comes to us, you know, in his initial stage of want to be a politician. So, like I say, we get an agreement. This is what we expect of you. You know, we may have to go out on a limb, but when you get up in there, do your job. He get up in there and don't do his job. Come voting time, he already know what the situation is. You know, our votes are transactional, man. We expect something for our votes. Just like you have a job, you go to work, you expect a check. You know, it should be no different. It should be no different. These politicians, they go up in these houses are representing in the houses, you know, in the chambers and stuff of Capitol Hill. And the lobbyists come in, man, and they get them in a corner. They have these discussions with them. And there's a transaction taking place. Hey, Hakeem. Hey, Corey, I need you to vote on this bill that, you know, we want to get passed for Israel. And they say, what's in it for me? Oh, well, you know, we that thing you wanted to build, we got some donations. We can, you know, or we can sponsor this, or it might be something under the table, or, you know, we got some insider trader information is worth this much. It's a transaction. Why? They're doing exactly what they're supposed to do with their vote. You know, it's wrong because they're not looking out for the people. But in terms of how to utilize the vote, they're making the vote work for them. Their vote works for them. They get paid. How should that be any different for us? So that's one suggestion. I advocate that. You know, I advocate that. If brothers and sisters going into politics, they're not going to go up in there, man, their first day in that bad boy, their first month in there, advocating reparations by any means, then, hey, man, you know, then, you know, you ain't doing your job. We got to get you out of there. Votes, you know, individual votes or black votes should be transactional. That's one thing, you know, and again, know who the hell we voting for. You know, being a transactional vote is one thing, but also know who these individuals are who we cast our votes for. If we don't get nothing, if we can't even make the vote transactional, at least know who the hell we're voting for. It means a lot, man. You know. And we get, you know, we got to do our homework, man. We have to do our homework and our research. You know, a lot of these people, man, were ex-prosecutors and stuff, lawyers, working for the state, working for the Fed, arresting brothers and sisters. Man, I'm telling y'all, man, that's how deep this shit is, man. You know, a lot of them come from law firms, man, that represented huge corporations that poison the people daily. You know, I'm just saying. That's the thing, man. We got to know what the hell is going on. You know, we got to. And otherwise, man, we're going to continue to lose. B60 said, man, Roland Martin, Al Sharpton, and that Crump dude are camera hogs that do a lot of empty talking. Real spit. You know, real spit. And Al Sharpton is corrupt as they come. Facts. They do corrupt. You know, and I'll tell you something now. I gotta say this, man. Now you know something ain't right with that brother, man. Old as he is, he's still wearing a perm. Something ain't right, man. Something ain't right. Something ain't right, man. Something wrong with his thinking. 2026, that dude got to be a bit of 70 something. Might be close to 80. I don't know. But he still wear a perm. He still wear a perm. Make that shit make sense, man. Nah. That shit don't make sense, bro. It don't make sense. Rakufu said, man, the systematic cultivation of economic recirculation within the African-American community through intentional patronage, cooperative enterprise, and strategic capital retention can generate a robust multiplier effect, whereas each dollar is repeatedly reinvested among Black-owned institutions, thereby compounding wealth, all right, accumulation, expanding entrepreneurial capacity, and enhancing long-term collective economic sovereignty. There's autonomy right there. And from where you started with that, Ra, see, we have, actually, if we really think about it, we have the economic ability to do that. Economically speaking, see, again, I got to keep hammering this point home. If we are consuming $2 trillion in goods, consumer goods, there's no bigger spender in consumer goods than Black people. I think that's shameful. But again, there could be, you know, a silver lining in that. But if that's what it is, man, golly, everything Rakufu just said is more than possible. That's more than a possibility now. I mean, that's the blueprint. We use our economic wealth. And that's the cold part about it too. We don't get it. We have economic wealth that we're giving to somebody else. We're not even getting it to each other. That's the whole point. I think, man, if we to wake up and do the damn thing like we supposed to, all that is more than a possibility. That's something that will occur. That becomes manifested. That becomes, you know, that comes into fruition. It happens. It will happen. We're not willing to do that shit, though. I'm going to read that again. It deserves a second reading. Shit. The systematic cultivation of economic recirculation within the African-American community. And this is done through intentional patronage, cooperative enterprise, and strategic capital retention can generate a robust multiplier effect, whereas each dollar is repeatedly reinvested among Black-owned institutions, thereby compounding wealth accumulation and expanding entrepreneurial capacity and enhancing long-term collective economic sovereignty. That's what we lack. I mean, that's the blueprint right there. That's the blueprint. What's the first step of that? I mean, I know how you laid out, but this is not really a rhetorical question. Being that we're in such disarray, how did that idea, that plan, how is it initiated? Who do we go to get this thing up and running? You know what I mean? I would warn off the bat, don't mess with the boule or the bougie gatekeeping type people. I'm telling you, that'd be the worst mistake we can make. So how do we go about doing this and doing it soundly? Doing it in such a way where there's a guarantee that the people will reap the benefits of this endeavor. That's what it is. How do we go about doing that? Who do we involve in this? Man, who? Everybody can't come play, man. We got to be mindful of that shit now. All right. Jerome Dominique is back. He said, Groove, H1 family, B1, much love. Good to see you back, Jerome. Good to see you up in here, man. Peace and prosperity to you, bro. Polk said, man, being Crump is helping my homeboy get paid for the police killing his son, and his son was in the Air Force, a good kid. Rest in peace, Lil Roger. Crump, that's the brother that does all them high profile wrongful death, shooting by police and stuff like that. Yeah. And he's involved in some other corporate stuff. Yeah. Okay, Ben Crump. Yeah. I haven't seen him in the news lately. Well, no, I take that back. I seen him in that recently, that thing in Texas with that, that Mexican girl. I think I seen him have a word or two about that. I'm not talking about the other brother. I forgot his name, but not him, but yeah, Crump. At B60, you say Crump is old camera hog? Well, let's hope he get, the loved one family taken care of, man. They ain't gonna bring him back, but I'm pretty sure that, man, he gonna get it done. Dude, that's the new Johnny Cochran, That's the new Johnny Cochran, man. Queen and Zinga 74 say, bah, maybe he has bad hair and needs to manage his mane. No, man, no. If he had bad hair, he ain't gonna cut it off. But then he would really look funny, right? Yeah, because he was, he was a very old, overweight brother. And you back in the day, you used to think, yeah, he gonna fall over any day now. He got it together, but it's as though he's on that Ozempic or whatever that thing these people take, and he don't know how to stop, because he look like he's wasting away now, like he's thinner. Old Stephen King character or book called Thinner. It looked like he just can't stop losing weight, but that perm. Come on, bruh. Them days long gone, man. Queen Nzinga says blessings to Lil Rogers' family. Yeah. And our condolences as well. Folks say the Al Sharpton perm. Yeah, man, that's ridiculous, man. Rakufu say, Bub, along with that economic program, military structure must be implemented. There you go. Bingo. Because I tell you this, I tell you what, and I think you already understand. Most of us do. And most of us here understand this. We cannot have one without the other, man. See, that way we can pretty much we'll guarantee, oh, it'll be a fight this time. You know what I mean? You ain't taking jack. You ain't tearing up nothing. You're not dismantling, destroying nothing we build ever again. Oh, yeah. Can't have that one without that one. Real spit, man. Real spit. And how do we go about training like for that, go about training for that sort of thing? Who would, wow, it's just so much, man. You have to stop and really think about shit, because the way they've infiltrated everything in our society, everything that we're about, that we have, they're in it. They know of it better than a lot of us. So because that's so, damn, that would be the most difficult task, as well as building that economic sovereignty, that being autonomous, status, they would put in work on that too. In fact, they begin work on that before it even get started, or in the middle or at the end. They try to find a way, no doubt. But both of which, yeah, you can't have one without the other. Man, B60 say, man, Pope Mitchell agreed, but we have to distinguish what truth is and not follow dressed up lies. Rakufu said, man, to initiate this strategy, the community must first conduct a rigorous inventory of its existing assets, entrepreneurs, skilled professionals, investors, faith institutions, and civic organizations. So then do I take it that, well, let me go on, and then organize these resources into a coordinated economic network. Residents intentionally prioritize purchasing from Black-owned businesses, while business owners reciprocally source goods and services from one another, deposit capital in community-oriented financial institutions, and establish cooperative investment funds to provide upstart and expansion financing. Educational initiatives promote financial literacy, entrepreneurship, and disciplined consumer behavior, while digital directories, and accountability matrix track the recirculation of spending and measure employment, business growth, and wealth creation, sustained through transparent governance and intergenerational commitment. This structured cycle transforms dispersed purchasing power into a self-reinforcing engine of collective economic development and long-term community sovereignty. And I wanted to hit on something because, yeah, this I think is great to say all this. Okay, so you're talking about in order to initiate the strategy, the community must first conduct this rigorous inventory of its existing assets. Then slash entrepreneurs, skilled professionals, investors, faith institutions, and civic organizations. Who would fit the bill in terms of entrepreneurs? In terms of faith-based institutions, skilled professionals, and investors. Who are these people? Just like I was saying, when we talk about politicians, vetting them before we hire them, the same should apply, man, to all aspects, man, or get down. Are these people vetted? Do we get, the full scope and understanding of, who they are, who are their friends, or who their friends are, as well. Yeah, man, appreciate that, Rakufu. Tight. All right. Tight. Poke thank Queen and Zinga. Said love you, sis. Queen and Zinga say Poke Mitch podcast back at you, bro. Peace and infinite blessings to you and your queen. There you go. All right, Jerome Dominique, he's agreeing. And I'm pretty sure, well, you're agreeing with what the layout Rakufu put before us or something else. But that what Rakufu talking about is tight. I agree with it as well. Damn, and see, this is the thing with us, man. We have to work on our thought processes. We have to eliminate negativity, man, doubt and shit like that. I think that's another thing we got to work on. In order for us to get to where we need to be, we have to work on that. And I'm saying that about myself, about myself. I wanted to say something that was not positive, you know what I mean? And that's our problem. We'll revert back to our old way of thinking. We become pessimistic in a lot of respects, and I have to admit that pessimism is something I've dealt with for a long time. You know what I mean? I like to think that I utilize pessimism to get to the optimistic side of things. You know what I mean? Pessimism is that dark tunnel, that I have to go through, and all the while I'm thinking, okay, it's got to be light at the end of the tunnel while I'm being pessimistic about, damn, this is long ass dark tunnel, But anyway, yeah, man, we got to work on our thought processes, man. I included. That's some strong shit right there. And I don't just think it's doable. I think that should be the blueprint, the script. We should be on that. All right, James, see you up in there, man. Peace and prosperity to you, bro. Send our love out to the CPT, man, to Compton as well as the Bomptoners, all right? Good to see you, bro. Everything is everything, man. Everything is everything. B60 said, oh, well, hold on, B60, where you start from? Oh, okay. We have to have this. Poke Mitchell agreed, thumbs up. But we have to distinguish what truth is and not follow dressed up lies. All right. In the last mayor election or mayoral election, a black man who was a senator who said he could have done more black folks. He could have done more black folks while he was in office, but didn't because he wasn't going to do nothing for them crows. All right, James, good to see you up in there. Like I say, man, black power to the utmost. One. If it ain't black, it's whack. All right. And on that note, if it ain't time to go, I don't know, but it's time to go, y'all. It's time to go. I got to get up, man. Oh, shit. I got things to do. I just want to send my appreciation, man, first and foremost out to the people, man. Listen, got great love and respect for the RGC, man, and all those of you who come in here who are not regularly or who are not here regularly, you know what I mean? Still love and respect and appreciation for that. But to the RGC, man, more specifically, man, it's all love, man, It's all love. The fact that I'm even tolerated for 2 hours, man, it means a lot, means a great deal to me. Means a great deal to me. So I just want to say, hey, man, I appreciate each and every one of you. Love and respect is also extended to each and every one of you. May the rest of your evening be everything you want it to be. Let it, end on a good note, man. And look forward to the next day, that grand rising, man. Let's make that happen, man. Let's be ready for battle. All right. All you brothers and sisters, take care of yourselves. This is the end of a Tuesday. Get ready for hump day. Is tomorrow. And again, make the most of it. Seize the day, y'all. Seize the day. I'm in on this. Rakufa said we all need medical attention as a people. both physical and psychological. Remember, we've been in a traumatic situation for a very long time. Real spit, bro. Real spit. All right, James say, all my beautiful brothers and sisters unite. One. All right, Henry, peace right back to you. Be 60, man. Love and respect. Everyone, y'all already know, man. Hey, let's build this love for self up. Let's build it up, you know. Let's build it up and let's take better care of ourselves, because I'm telling you, man, the result of that is phenomenal. It's going to serve, right? It's going to do what it's supposed to do. Let's keep that in mind, man. Love yourself, love each other, all right? Take care of yourself, take care of one another. You are, you have been, and you will be under the groove. Power is in the people, y'all. Real spit. Power is in the people. Take care of yourselves. One love.
Count the names, count the bodies, count the victory. Cullen Hughes, Hurston writing future history. From the Apollo to the Borough to the Sphere, where the echo of those Harlem nights still ringing clear. So when they ask what happened in those tenement flats, between the spirituals and where consciousness is at, tell them we transformed suffering to scholarship and song. Tell them we've been telling you we're brilliant all along. The Renaissance will prologue every decade since the sequel. Every black child born's continuation of the people who survived the Middle Passage, survived the Jim Crow laws, and built magnificence from nothing but their vision and their flaws. It's in the sergeant, this is once a less than. Hatters, hatters, and Mercedes. Please don't you, I can't stop us. Power sensitive, watch you, the applause for polls. Need your data, tropes, and counsel, and problem when the wet just wanna build the season bait. Now don't get the pause. It's just erasing up the cons, plead the markets off the main. Make a honor fans turn and neck and love the durn. Suffer like a kesha. You went from the preaching up on side as each alone, but on the shit and untrue seeing vets, someone the very inch on Gary Land. Be hell in heaven, you see what the Bonavir. If wait something for the mark, rate to keep him full the club and saw the boards to the Sanger land is carried open, slowly keep us looking on my mother, break your chair and resi for the he and let the peasant be. It's every time we keep a spawn.